Okay, so that's our room there. Now, that's the hallway there. And then I went from our room, which is just 2 steps, from there to there, and that's the emergency exit. So, yeah, when I come out of the room, I looked down there and the whole hallway was just shaking and it was rocking. So that's where we came out after me running down 11 floors with people in front of me and people behind me, but we were all running. So when we came out, that's where we came out. We did the loop around there and then we did the run out here. Now all outside here was chock-a-block. Okay, so last night, Saturday night, we had a pretty big scare here. There was a 5.7 earthquake here in Cagayan. Now the earthquake was started outside of the coast, which I'll show you on the map. Where it started, and it covered a very big area. Went all the way down to Davao and Tsunami Island, as far as coming up here to Cagayan, Shago. So here the earthquake was 5.7. Davao, I'm told, was 6.1, and where the earthquake started was 7.2, I believe it was. Somewhere around there. So yeah, it was a pretty scary night. So at about 10:15, Cecilia, my wife, went down into the street to get some snacks from the vendors that they have here. Now, I stayed in the room, and around about 10:30, 10:35, I'm lying in bed and I could feel the bed shake. And I just thought I was feeling dizzy. And then when I looked at the curtains, I could see the curtains swaying. So I knew it was time to get out of the building. There was probably an earthquake happening. So I got out of bed. The only light that was on in the room was the one under the hood where we do our cooking. And the rest of the place was just in darkness. So I didn't have time to look for phones or grab my phone. And Cecilia had the key for the front door for me to lock it, but I was unable to because she had the key. So I went down the fire escape, but when I come out of the room, fair dinkum, the hallway was going like that, and it was just shaking like that, and it was going like that. When I come out of the room, I looked down there, and the whole hallway was just shaking. And like that. And it was so terrifying. I really did think that the building was about to collapse or something like that. So anyway, so I've gone out of the door, I've looked down the hallway and and it was just going like that. And like that as well. And it was pretty terrifying. So then after what I did is as I've come out of the room, the fire escape was there, which I've shown you on the video. I've opened up the door and gone down. Anyway, there was a girl in front of me, and I'm sort of trying to push it, say, "How you going? How you going? Good? You going good?" So I'm trying to get her to get down the stairs, and there was people behind me as well. And then we came out that door over there where I showed you, and all this driveway here and around here and out on the street, everybody was from inside the building here. Now I'll also show you on the here the seismology of the building on the mid floor, which is about where we are on the 11th floor. The seismology said it was 4, and further up it was 5. So that's what the rocking was all about and the shaking was all about. So it was a pretty scary night. Anyway. After probably about an hour, I suppose, they allowed everybody to go back in, but they weren't allowing them to use the elevator at that moment. So everyone that wanted to go back had to go back up the stairs, and then eventually they allowed us to use the elevator, which we started to do. And then anyway, we went back up there. Cecilia and I went back up into the room. We were probably up there for about 20 minutes, and then the aftershock started. So we come back downstairs again, but yeah, the aftershock was the first one was yeah, it was pretty well swaying, but not as bad as the earthquake when that first started. So we come on downstairs here, and we waited probably about 45 minutes, and then we went back upstairs again. And then probably another 20 minutes or so, it started again. So we came back down. We waited for probably another 40-30 minutes, I suppose, and then we went back up, and there was 2 more after that, but they were very short. They probably went for, I don't know, maybe a minute, and yeah, they were just sort of little rocking. And by about 3:30, yeah, I went to sleep then. But it was a really scary night. There was people all up in the street up here that were, yeah, all the nightclubs, all the discos, where the bands were playing, etc. Yeah, there was everybody out on the street. So I guess if you're running a tab and the earthquake happened and you ran outside, you didn't pay your tab. Anyway, so that's what the night was all about. It was very scary, and not something I want to go through again. But we've had 2 earthquakes so far here in Davao. About 2 weeks ago, here in Mindanao. About 2 weeks ago, there was an earthquake of General Santos, which I'll show you on the map. And it started there, and it went up to Davao City. It was felt as far as Davao City. But this earthquake, it went a very long way. And I'll show you on the map what area it covered. Now that's 2 weeks. That's 2 we've had within 2 weeks. I'm just wondering if there's going to be a 3rd earthquake. Because you know what they say, things come in 3. And I just hope the next one is not as bad or anywhere near as what we just had, because this is my first time in an earthquake. And I remember watching the YouTube channel where one of the guys that I normally watch, he was in Davao on the first one, and he was in his car, and you could see the terror, you could see the fright, the terror on his face, and he was just in his car. When I was coming down from the 11th floor, and I was scared. So this is my first time I've ever seen or ever been involved in an earthquake. And there's something I really don't want to go through again. But anyway, it's part of life here in the Philippines, and hopefully there isn't any more after this. But they did issue a tsunami warning, and there wasn't, eventually after about 2 hours they called off it, but yeah, no tsunami happened. But anyway, that's life here in the Philippines.